Good morning. I'm just giving good morning, Tina. So good morning. I'm just giving some folks some time just to sign on. I know it's the Monday after the holiday. Folks are either sleeping in or back to their norm, but I just wanted to give folks to an opportunity to join on this morning. I'm actually off today, and I'm telling you, I could have just slept my whole morning away, but I'm putting into practice some of the things that I've been sharing about, just being intentional, an intentional leader. So I'm up, and 8:30 on a Monday it is. So good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to just highlight just a little bit. I hope that your Christmas was well, your holidays were great. Yesterday, I celebrated my grandson's second birthday, and boy, am I exhausted. I mean, we did some things that I probably haven't done in several years. So much activity, kids were running around and everything, but my holiday was great. So I'm hoping that you all had a wonderful holiday as well. So for those of you who may be joining me for the very first time, my name is Marquisa Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Elevate Leadership Enterprises. I am in the business, the ministry of helping leaders, team building, helping you to build your ministries, helping to create structure, helping to enrich your lives. I am also a certified life coach, and I also do individual consultations as well, helping you to find your purpose and helping you to start as well. So I thank you for joining this morning. Please share this scope this morning with your followers. We're going to be talking about the inward stuff today, the inward stuff as a leader, as a person, some of the stuff that we wrestle with on a daily basis and even through our lifetime, and make some points about how we need to work through them. But I just wanted to talk about, so last week we talked about being an in leader and how the things that we do. Good morning, Nakia. Good morning. We talked about last week how healthy leading comes from within. It comes from it's a matter of the heart. It's a matter of motivation as a leader. All the things that we spoke about, being influential and having impact on people's lives, inspirational, all those things, it has to come from somewhere, which is on the inside. So we talked about being in leaders. So today I want to talk about, again, the inward stuff. I spoke a little bit about that last week about, we have to deal with some things that's going on inside of us, because we can bump up against some things that may catch us by surprise or others by surprise, right? So with that, I'm going to get started. So the inward stuff, I thought about, as I was writing this lift today, I thought about the fruit of the Spirit, which came to my mind, the fruit of the Spirit. I will not be preaching or anything like that today, but it comes from the fruit of the Spirit, something on the inside of us. And if you want to know biblically, it comes from Galatians chapter 5. So the fruit of the Spirit, I wanted to look up the word spirit, and it is the non-physical part of a person that is the seat of emotions and character. I had to block that user. So the fruit of the Spirit is the Spirit is the non-physical part of the person that is the seat of the emotions and character. It is the soul. It is what's in us, right? So whether a person is a believer or not, every human being has inward struggles. No matter what your religious beliefs, You are a human being. So you're going to wrestle with some things. We come from something. We're birthed from something. So there's already some things that are already in us. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. But we have to acknowledge what they are. So again, whether a person is a believer or not, every human being has an inward struggle with some of the things that I'm going to talk about, whether it be sexual immorality, impurity, hostility, quarreling, jealousy. That's big time when you're talking about leaders. Outbursts of anger. We've seen that in others, even with ourselves. Selfishness, selfish ambition. I'm telling you, in the leadership arena, I know in corporate America, it is a lot of selfish ambition, and I believe I'm placed there to help alleviate some of that and help others to make room, let them know that they have there's room for everybody to lead and to have an influence on other people. But anyway, division, envy is big, even to the point of drunkenness. So those are some things that comes out of what we want to get rid of. Now, I can go on and on about different things that are going on inward. Unforgiveness is an enormous inward struggle that we have. We could have as human beings, not just being a leader, but just as human beings. However, it's things that we need to actually deal with. So no matter what inward issue your issue is, right? You must begin to deal with it, with these things in order to be an effective leader. We see on the news so many leaders, so many people who are in prestigious positions later on, years later, come out with stuff that was just buried, and it's just manifests itself in public because they never dealt with those issues. Whether he's guilty or not, we don't know. Bill Cosby could be one. We deal with the guy, the Temple coach, or not Temple coach, that college, Penn State coach, dealing with those children, things that were just going on the inside that were just never dealt with, that came out and began to hurt other people, let alone themselves. So we want to make sure that we don't fall into that category of having our inward issues, the unhealthy stuff, come outward, and we're hurting other people and we're hurting ourselves. So being a healthy leader starts with being working on the inside. So again, guaranteed, the stuff that we try to hide, whether it's anger issues, we're jealous of others, it will eventually come out if we get into the right circumstance. So you at least want to know that these issues are there, so you can deal with them. So you can create healthy boundaries so you're not explosive. I think of inward issues, unhealthy inward issues that we deal with that go undealt with. I think of like a soda bottle. It's soda in there, you shake it up, or you even unintentionally kick it over. If you don't let that stuff settle or deal with it, you open it immediately, it's going to explode all over everything, everybody, and it's a complete mess. I've done it on numerous occasions. That soda bottle analogy is real when it comes to not dealing with those things that we need to handle on the inside of us as leaders. We must deal with those things. So you might say, well, how do I deal with them? You want to recognize that they're there. You want to talk about it with someone in confidence, someone who you trust about those issues, and then you take it from there. I personally highly recommend that everyone sits on the couch and talks to a counselor. Talk to your pastor, talk to someone in confidence to guide you through your inward stuff. Dealing with stuff from childhood, dealing with stuff in your past, because you may run up against some situations that may cause you to be emotionally spent, cause you to do things that you would not normally do if you were on point, if you were on guard. A lot of things come in leadership unexpected. A lot of things that happen comes unfortunately unintentionally. We don't intend to hurt people. Most times we do not intend to hurt people. However, we do at times. I mentioned last week the phrase hurt people, hurt people. That phrase is very true. So again, I'm trying to give you some tips on how to deal with your inward stuff so you do not harm yourself and you do not harm others. So harming your reputation, harming your ministry, harming your business, harming your family, and then again, harming those who you are trying to help on a continual basis. So I wanted to share that this morning that, we must deal with the inward stuff. So last week I spoke about, I said, I don't know where to go with this in stuff. And a good sister friend of mine said, oh, this is not the end of your in series. And I appreciate that, that she kind of pulled my coattail on about dealing with the in stuff, right? Yes, Renee, it starts with self. It absolutely starts with self. We have to be healthy in order to encourage others to live healthy lives as well. So I think about back to Galatians chapter 5, and it talks about our human nature, how they're at odds with each other, and at war with what our spirit wants to do. So Galatians 5:17, and I am going to read that a little blurb of that, and it says, the sinful nature wants to do evil, which is the opposite of what the spirit wants. And the spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting with each other, so you are not free to carry out your good intentions. So, key thing here is you are not free to carry out your good intentions if you are not dealing with the negative, the inward stuff that is going on within you. So that means that you're bound. You're still bound. You're a leader trying to lead others and push them forward. But here it is, you're still shackled in some regard with anger issues, lust issues, jealousy issues, selfish ambition. You're still shackled if you don't deal with them. So we need to be free. We want to be free to use and carry out our good intentions. So we need to deal with that. I was thinking about who could some leaders that we've seen in the past. We saw some outbursts from, I want to say like Tiger Woods, the subway guy, Jared Fogle. We see on the news these young teachers, these women teachers who are sleeping with their students. We see pastors who are depressed, who have committed suicide because they didn't deal with those inward things. We saw Robin Williams, who was a talented actor, who made most of us laugh, but couldn't laugh in his own privacy. So again, we want to make sure that we are dealing with our inward stuff. When I make that face like stuff, because it's some of the negative stuff that's just, we don't want to talk about. We're embarrassed to talk about, but I encourage you to begin to think about, start doing a journal about them. That's a good start. And then you would also get the courage, to talk to someone about your inward issues, insecurities, low self-esteem. All of those things hinder us from moving forward and to be effective leaders as we proceed with leading others. So the goal here today, this topic of dealing with the inward stuff, is to start acknowledging whatever your issue is and deal with them accordingly. Like I said, talk to someone in confidence, talk to a counselor, talk to your pastor, talk to other leaders who you respect and trust. You have to, as leaders, we have to be careful with who we share our personal information with. Everyone does not use our information for good. So you really need to think about who your circle is. If you agree with me, let me know you're out there. Give me some hearts. If you can hear me and you understand that, yes, absolutely, you need to be careful as a leader who your circle of friends are, who you share your confidential information, your personal information with, because everyone does not have your best interest. So I want us to make sure that we are sharing with someone in confidence. In confidence. So as leaders, we are to be a positive example, not perfect, but a good example to those who we have the privilege, yes, the privilege of leading and serving. Leadership is a privilege. It is a gift. Not everybody can effectively lead, and especially not for the long haul and not for the long term. So we want to be good examples to the people that we are called to serve and to lead. All right? I know I've been talking for a minute. So that is our goal. We are to exemplify the positive fruits of the Spirit, positive attributes of a leader, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. How many people you've seen in leadership who are just mean, as my pastor says, mean as a rattlesnake? I laugh every time he says that. But you do have some mean leaders. But we want to have joy. We want to be kind. We want to be faithful to the people that we are leading. We want to be gentle with others, even when we don't disagree. There is a way that we can disagree and still be tactful, still lead with integrity. And most importantly, we want to have self-control. We don't want to be reckless leaders, just tearing down people because we are in these positions. You know, our word is law, and that's just that. So we want to have self-control. The word Galatians 5 talks about against those things, joy, patience, kindness. There is no law against that. We are free to operate in the fruit of the Spirit. We become unstoppable leaders, healthy leaders, when we deal with the inward stuff that could harm ourselves in the long run and harm others. So we would be unstoppable if we would deal with the inward stuff. I spoke about last week about a class that I used to hold at one of the churches where I used to lead in the counseling ministry, and it was a mandatory course. 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and sometimes, depending on the issues, it went a little longer into 12 weeks, and it was called self-confrontation. We dealt with, as counselors, ministers, pastors, we talked about those issues that we were dealing with in confidence, and it helped us as leaders tremendously. It took a weight or a burden off of those people who participated in those classes. So it was an awesome time. It was awesome of transparency, and it helped us to be productive leaders and healthy leaders. So again, today's leadership lift is about the inward stuff, the inward stuff. So I'm going to continue the IN series going forward, and we're going to be dealing with a couple other topics, and I'll leave room for that. But in summary, I just wanted to talk about a little bit again about, for the Message version, Galatians 5:25. It says, "Since this is the kind of life we have chosen," meaning us, and I'm using this in a leadership context, that we have been chosen to lead, been called to lead the life of the Spirit, the inward, the Spirit. We talked about what that is. Let us make sure that we do not just hold it as an idea in our heads or a sentiment in our hearts, but work it out. Work out its implications in every detail of our lives. So if you know that you have an anger issue, and you have some things that you may bump up against, work out what your implications, what your actions will imply if you act on it, if you act on those negative things, so you have to work it out. That means we will not compare ourselves to others. We will it means that we will not compare, ourselves with each other as if one of us were better or another worse. We have far more interesting things to do with our lives. Each of us are unique. Each of us are an original. So there's no need to be envious or jealous or angry with another person. We want to work out our inward stuff. Amen. So that was today's leadership lift, working on the inward stuff. So I thank you for entertaining this topic this morning and joining our Monday morning leadership lift. We will be doing these every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please share these scopes with your followers. I believe that these leadership lifts will be beneficial to anyone who leads anything. And, whether you're leading in your home, in the workplace, all of those things, continue to lead, strive to lead healthy, deal with the inward stuff, the negative inward stuff that we deal with each and every, that we've been dealing with over our lifetime. So next week, we will be dealing with, we will be talking about, our topic will be invest. What it means to invest as a leader. What does it mean to invest? So, we spoke about today the inward stuff, dealing with all of that. So next week we'll talk about the inward stuff. So those of you, again, who are just joining, we talked about all the inward stuff. Also, let me just tell you, if you want to catch up on some of the leadership lifts, you can follow me on my fan page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/IamMarquisa. You will find them there. I also just uploaded all of the previous videos on YouTube for those who may not be able to go on Periscope. So I'm trying to reach those who may not necessarily have the Periscope app, but I want to be able to reach the world with these Periscope messages. So you can reach me there. You can also continue just to follow me on Periscope every Monday, and also visit me. You can learn more about my business, my ministry, on my website, which is simply MarquisaWilliams.com. MarquisaWilliams.com. I am the president, founder, CEO of Elevate Leadership Enterprises. You can find more information about workshops there, and how we can connect. There's opportunity for you to schedule time with me for individual consultations. If you have, a corporation or a ministry and you want me to join you for a workshop, or spend a day with you, there's a way to consult with me and we can talk about that as well. And also, I have a free ebook that is available to you if you go to my website, MarquisaWilliams.com, and the name of my ebook is 5 Things Anyone Leading Anything Should Know. 5 Things Anyone Leading Anything Should Know. So take a look at the website, sign up for the free ebook. And when you sign up for the free ebook as well, you will actually be on my distribution list, and my newsletter will be coming out before the new year. Before the new year, yes, my newsletter will be coming out. So I look forward to engaging with you even on the newsletter. So again, thank you for joining this morning's Monday morning leadership lift, dealing with the inward stuff. So if you want to know stuff, recap on being an influence, being an inspiration, being an intentional leader, check out the previous scopes. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you next Monday right here at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for your next Monday morning leadership lift. Have a wonderful day.